I discovered my husband was leaving me because I wasn't jealous enough of other women, and what happened next shattered everything I thought I knew about love. For 10 years, we had what I thought was the perfect marriage, built on trust so deep I never questioned his loyalty, even when women threw themselves at him constantly. He's incredibly handsome, the kind of man who turns heads everywhere we go, and at parties I'd watch women practically ignore my existence to flirt with him right in front of me, but I stayed calm, confident, because I knew his heart, knew he'd never betray me, not because he respected me but because he respected himself even more. I thought my unwavering trust was the ultimate expression of love, that my lack of jealousy showed how secure we were together, how much I believed in us. The cracks started showing when his friend brought up jealousy at a dinner party, and I explained that I simply don't get jealous because I wouldn't be with a man I didn't fully trust. Something shifted in my husband's eyes that night, a disappointment I couldn't understand, and he kept bringing up the topic again and again, calling my confidence unflattering stoicism even though I was warm and loving in every other way. I dismissed his concerns because logically, I wasn't doing anything wrong, my trust in him was absolute, my love unwavering, so what could possibly be the problem with that? Then came the gym incident that changed everything, when this young woman literally positioned herself 20 centimeters from my husband's face while he was doing push-ups, stretching provocatively right in front of him. I watched in shock as she basically put on a show, and when my husband looked at me appalled by her behavior, I just smiled and shook my head in disbelief at her audacity. He moved to another spot immediately, but after we left he was furious with me, demanding to know why I didn't intervene, why I didn't make it clear he was my husband. I asked him why he didn't tell her himself, pointed out that her behavior was inappropriate regardless of his relationship status, but he was more upset about my lack of reaction than her disrespect. 2 weeks ago at a dinner party, everything exploded when this woman from his past, someone who'd had a fling with him in their 20s, started her usual attention-seeking behavior. She always brought up how she dumped him back then, but this time she looked directly at me and said that if she really wanted, she could take him anytime. My anger was boiling over but I stayed calm, shook my head, and when she pressed on I told her that if she could just take someone then he wasn't worth having to begin with, that she'd be doing me a favor. I meant that my husband wasn't some object to be taken or given, that he was a decent man with his own will who chose to be with me, but he heard something completely different. He heard that I didn't care if he left me for another woman, that I was indifferent to losing him, and we had one of our worst fights that night. I should have apologized, should have pretended to be jealous like he wanted, but instead I tried to explain my logic, tried to make him understand that if someone wants to leave you for another person, nothing can stop them anyway. That's when he said the words that destroyed me, that he didn't love me anymore, and when I responded that if he'd fallen out of love then there was nothing I could do about it, he shook his head in disbelief and asked, "That's all? What else could I say when someone stops loving you? That I'd force him to stay, make him pretend?" Now he's staying with his brother's family while we start separation proceedings and sell our apartment, and I've been crying nonstop since he told me it was over. My tears never dry. The pain is unlike anything I've ever experienced, like my heart is swollen in my throat and shriveled into a husk at the same time. I'm looking for a therapist because I'm not feeling well. Maybe a couples counselor could make the divorce easier, but I still don't fully understand how my logical mind, my absolute trust in him, became the very thing that killed our marriage. I hate that woman from his past with every fiber of my being, but we can't control who his sister invites to gatherings, and unfortunately I've had the misfortune of seeing her more frequently now that she's back in town. I never knew that loving someone too logically, trusting them too completely, could be the very thing that drives them away, and now I'm facing the devastating reality that sometimes the heart wants what the mind can't understand. Here are some comments from the community and OP's responses. Comment 1. A painful but practical suggestion. This sounds like a deep communication breakdown. Counseling might help translate your trust into the emotional reassurance he seems to need. OP's response. I am looking for a therapist myself because I am not feeling well. Maybe divorce can be easier with a couples counselor. Comment 2. I'm baffled by these comments because I'm the same as you. I don't need to defend my territory or start getting catty if some woman shows interest in my boyfriend. I trust him completely and utterly. OP's response. I didn't understand the problem either, but apparently there was a problem. At least it was the catalyst for him not having feelings for me anymore. It rarely is just one thing. He was very upset when I pointed that out. I didn't mean to hurt him, but it came as a shock to me and I wanted to understand, and in my mind it couldn't been just that bothered him. Comment 3. I used to have a husband who was kinda same. Turned out, he was planning to cheat on me and was always looking. OP's response. I don't think it is the case here. He is staying with his brother's family until we start the separation and sell our apartment. Comment 4, deleted. OP's response, I hate her guts but we can't decide who his sister or mutual friends invite so unfortunately I have had the misfortune of bumping into her, more frequently now she's back in town.